Hi, I'm Dom and welcome to my channel The Metal Muse, where I discuss all things metal. Now today I'm going to be talking about a new black metal band that I recently discovered called Nachtblut, which, FYI, means Nightblood in German. I mean, you probably could have guessed that. I mean, even me with my limited German was able to figure that one out. So, in regards to this band, I have dallied with them before, from time to time via Spotify recommends. I liked a few of their songs, but I can't say that I was a major fan. Like, I might have gone to see them if they were in the same town as me, but I wasn't ready to shill out for a plane ticket to go to Munich to see them. Not that kind of love. However, lucky for me, I was going to be hoofing it anyway over to Hanover to see Lord of the Lost on their homecoming tour, and saw that Nachtblut were going to be playing, and I thought, okay, this is cool, this is a chance, I get to see both bands. So I was like, yes, the metal gods have smiled upon me today. And I've said it before on this channel and I'll say it again, I just love when one of your golden oldie bands introduces you to something new and you end up loving it, and it's probably something you wouldn't have even chosen for yourself. And I know it seems pointless and redundant to say that, but something on Spotify sounds a million times better when you hear it with the singer leaning over the barrier screaming in your face. That's where the magic really happens and you become a true fan. You can listen to it on Spotify all you want and you're a bit like, meh, it's that real life experience that is the winner. And that's exactly what happened here. So thank you, Lord of the Lost, for luring me to Hanover, because you brought me to Nachtblut. So before I dive into this review, let's talk a little bit about the band and who they are. I know nada. The end. Finding information about these guys was really tough for me, especially as a non-German speaker. So all I really know is that I love their sound, I love their attitude, I love their look, and I love the fact that they give the audiences shots of alcohol during the show. On vocals, we've got a chap called Askaroth, and then we've got a guy called Ablaz on bass, and Skull on drums, and Grief on guitars. Now, I have zero clue what their real names are or where they hail from, which makes me think next time I go to the Nachtblut show, which I think is going to be in Hamburg, I should doorstep them and I should try and get an interview and get all the answers to these questions that I have. The only interviews that I found online failed to answer any of this. The band itself is from a place called Onnesbrücke, I don't think I said that right, and was started by the lead singer Askaroth. I mean, this is all if the internet is correct. I mean, I did a little stalking, but as I said, there wasn't much to go with. They've played Wacken, they've played Wave, Gothic, Treffen, they've played Open Summer Air, and they've released about 6 albums since 2007, with their most recent being Vanitas in 2020, not 2022. See, I did stalk them as best I could, but again, I've said it twice now, I couldn't find much. So I am lacking in a lot of band specifics, you might say, but let's just dive into the actual performance. I went to 3 of their shows. I went to Hanover, Berlin, and Hereford. And although that might seem like a lot, it wasn't, that much. Some of my friends went to nearly every single every single show on Lord of the Lost sellout homecoming tour. This means I had 3 times to appreciate the guys and really soak in their performance. Sometimes you need to go to multiple shows to really notice everything and to relax into the performance, if that makes any sense, which I'm pretty sure it doesn't. It might do to my fellow anxiety sufferers. For someone like me who feels like her soul and spine are trying to always exit her body via her skull at metal shows, being able to see them several times meant that I wasn't feeling as stressed out that I'd miss bits or miss aspects of it, or just miss things out you might not see if you're looking at one member and not the other. And before we get into the good, let's, I think, address the elephant in the room here. As you all know, I don't speak German, so you may be wondering, how do I enjoy a band that performs solely in German? Because, I can't even pronounce names, so, understanding complex lyrics is going to be very tough. But I would then put that to you, good sir or madam, Rammstein. I mean, come on, nobody, I nearly said nobody speaks German. Lots of people speak German. I do not speak German, but there's plenty of non-German speaking fans all around the world who love Rammstein, so it's the same for me with this band. I don't have to know the lyrics or understand them to just enjoy the music and the performance. So I'm basing most of this review on them actually being on stage, their presence, their musical talent, how they play their instruments, and that's going to be what I'm basing this on. So now on to the good, and there was so much good. From the guttural, animalistic screams from Askaroth to the sheer overwhelming force of the guys on stage, it was one wild ride. From their blue White Walker contact lenses to their black leather garb, they're everything you would expect from a black metal band. Askaroth is positively terrifying on stage, and he doesn't break character until the DVD commentary. And well done to you who actually, if you did, get that very obscure Tropic Thunder reference. Even at the end of their show, at the tour show in Hereford, when members of Lord of the Lost pranked them by placing over 200 Capri Suns on their stage just before the performance, he still didn't break character. Like, when I was watching it, I was genuinely like, damn, is he actually pissed off? Like, is he going to go off and like smack some of the members of Lord of the Lost? Because he looked grumpy AF. So I then saw this guy after the show too. He was at the bar and he just looked so unapproachable because it was like he was still in full character stage mode. My girlfriends, however, they had no such compunctions and had a lot more confidence, and they just sidled right up and got their selfies with this very unsmiling band member. But I digress. So yes, the show, the vocals, how to describe them. I have to use the word guttural again because it's so perfect and his voice sounds like the guttural howl of a demon from hell, but delivered with force, precision, and very energetically. Like, you can feel the strength in the lungs delivering such a gothic feast for the ears. Askaroth's voice is distinctive and hard, but you know, like in all the right ways. Similarly, the other members of the band, they're on that same moody, gothic, and intense vibe. Apart from the guitarist, Ablaz, oh god, dude, if you're reading this, can you please, like, reach out and tell me how to properly pronounce your name? So the guitarist, Ablaz, well, that's what we're calling him for this, who has a distinct, cheeky, almost flirty bounce in his step. He's the only one who breaks character. I spotted him quite a few times during the show off to the side, making all the little front row goth girls blush with his intense stares and topless ways. While the guitarist Grief is like his complete polar opposite. He stands there stoic, with a really stony face and a perpetual glare worthy of Brendan Lee in the movie The Crow. But his damn playing is absolutely solid and tight, which makes up for what can feel like a disinterest in the audience. Now, Skoll, like many drummers, I couldn't see him, so I have no idea about his stage presence or even what his makeup looked like, but his drumming was fast and furious, just how I like it. Now, in terms of their sound, eclectic is the word that comes to mind. Some songs are audibly, you know, noticeably darker and rougher, but then suddenly songs like metal folk music pop up. Exhibit A being Liederkinder. Oh god, this is just embarrassing. I'm gonna download some Rosetta Stone. Like, if I'm gonna keep listening to German metal music, I need to at least learn how to pronounce names and song names. So another song that's very similar and a total wild card is Alles nur gelaut. Oh my god. And during that song, Askaroth actually makes his way down to the front row and gets the whole crowd, you know, singing along, like chanting. In Hereford, he was right in front of me and my friend Jackie, right on the barrier, singing into the audience. And his rather sweaty, large, muscular, painted chest was in our faces. I mean, the hardships of being in the front row. Woe is me indeed. Oh, and I did mention, I think at the start, when he comes down, like, he's completely topless, by the way. He comes down to, like, give shots. He's like a gothic magic Mike, and he basically stops at everybody and gives them a shot, which was really cool. But one night, I got a shot and it literally just tasted like a cup of Tabasco. It was so gross, and I regretted it because I picked 2. And I got my friend who doesn't drink to pick me one too. So I had like 3 of these absolutely horrendous shots. They got their... I nearly swore there. They got their act together by Hereford and gave us some really nice shots, actually. I still don't know what that was. So the next wild card song is one called Wat ist dein Los mit dir? Wat ist dein Los mit dir? And I have no idea what that actually means, but it sounds like metal meets electronic pop. Now that song they only sang at the final show alongside Lord of the Lost and Scarlet Dawn, and it was a complete spectacle, but it was also so much fun to like howl along in broken German because the mood was just so awesome and everybody was so hyped up. I really loved seeing this band live, and each show like got better as the tour progressed, and I already have tickets, like I said, to their next show in Hamburg. The boys have plenty of tour dates coming up, so I would recommend that you keep some space in your calendar next March and get your ass over to Germany, because they'll be stopping in places like Berlin, Stuttgart, Leipzig, Nuremberg, Hamburg, and many more. I mean, you get the idea. However, I would also say you should be really quick, because some of their shows are already sold out. I was trying to get a ticket to Berlin, couldn't get one. So if you have one and you don't want to go, just DM me, hit me up on Instagram. So that's enough fangirling from me. And I just have to say it was an overall wonderful experience and a really pleasant surprise. I didn't think I was going to end up loving them as much as I do. And I do. I absolutely love Nachtblut now. As the end of this ramble, that was quite the ramble. Did you go to any of these shows? Were you at the tour? Might I have seen you? And if you saw me, why didn't I get a hug? Please let me know in the comments below. Tell me, have you seen Nachtblut live? What was your impression? So yeah, enough from me. Until next time, you stay classy.